Hello everyone and welcome to Pilates on the water. And Lammy and I brought our mats out to the towpath, ready to work our core muscles today. And we're going to work those tummy muscles from all directions. So I hope you're ready for it and I look forward to seeing you on the mat.
So to start off with, make sure you've got your nice stable base with your feet, bringing those feet into the parallel position with your heels and ankles directly underneath your knees and your hips. Place your fingers onto those abs, just the fingertips there will do, so that you can also feel the lower part of your rib cage. And we're looking to find those abdominals that are deep inside, the transverse abdominal muscles. Drawing a deep inward breath in through your nose, lengthen your spine into the tail in one direction and into the crown of the head in the other direction. Now, as you open your mouth and take your outward breath, try to draw in with your abdominals and the lower part of your rib cage. And as you tighten those tummy muscles, drawing in deeply and strongly, we should start to feel the muscles under the fingertips tauten and tighten. And hopefully we've found those transverse abdominal muscles. Let's do a couple of more breaths there, drawing in to lengthen and exhale. Strongly drawing in with the muscles all the way around your waist. And one more deep breath. Well done. Now just to relax out the spine, we'll relax the shoulders down and just do a few little twists from side to side. Allow your arms to wrap around your body. Your hips can move as you twist and just warm up those muscles a little more to the side of the abs now, your internal, external oblique muscles. And we'll just do some deep, even breaths as you wrap, and one more each way. Then coming to center, again we need that outward breath to engage those core muscles that you found earlier. Don't forget to lift your pelvic floor, drawing it also towards your center. And now keeping those hips perfectly still, exhale to take a small side bend. And we're just introducing a curve through the spine. Inhale to center. And exhale, reaching those fingertips just down to the side of the knee. And inhale. And as you take these small side bends, you should feel that on the opposite side of your waist. Those side waist muscles now, just kicking in and working. And again. But you might also feel it in your rectal abdominal muscles as well. And we're narrowing the waist as we make that move. Let's add an arm raise now. Exhale and reach at the same time. So we're now lengthening the fingertips in the opposite direction to each other. Exhale and inhale. And inhale, and one more. Exhale and inhale. Well done. Now we're going to take those feet out a little bit wider. So starting with the toes, take your toes out, then your heels, your toes again, your heels to match, and one more time, really wide feet then, and those toes go out to the side. Just make sure you've got a good stable base though, and the weight feels even over the soles of your feet. And we'll just circle out those hips, loosening up through the hip area. And start to find those tummy muscles just changing a little bit as you circle round, just feeling them tensing in the opposite direction around your waist. Take the hips nice and wide so you're circumnavigating your mat and your shoulders are staying fairly central here. There'll be a little bit of movement but not too much. And then reversing. And a deep breath. And two more circles around. Nice deep breath in and out. And then one more. Well done. Coming to center, and just keep those toes turned out, a little bit of softness in the knees, And now we're going to reach out to the side. So this time I have the palms facing the front, but be careful to keep those shoulders down, tightening the abs, lifting your pelvic floor. And we're going to do our spine twist in this wide position to help us stabilize those hips now. You don't want any movement through the hips for this one. Hips facing the front of your mat. Exhale across and inhale center. And you're just pressing the back of the hand towards the back of the room, staying nice and tall. And again, inhale. One more each way. Well done. Rotate those palms down. Keep the shoulders pressed away. And with the arms out to the side, we'll take that side bend again. But keep those arms opposite each other. We don't want one arm down and one arm up. They're right out to the side, just below shoulder height. And center. Let's do that again. Same side. Exhale and inhale. Lifting the pelvic floor each time you come back to center. Tightening the waist. Keeping those arms away to the side. And again. And then on this last one, we're going to hold that position for a moment. Bring the top arm, bicep close to your ear, and bottom arm, squeeze it up to meet that top arm. Shoulder stays back. Tighten the waist and all the way up, reaching above your head. Well done. Open again, and this time we're going to the opposite side. Just watch those shoulders. Exhale and inhale. Same side, off to the left. Exhale and inhale. And belly button towards the small of your back, tightening the ribs as well. And on this last one, just hold it there, hold your side reach, bicep close to your ear, stretch those fingertips and press up with that bottom arm and slowly back up to center. Well done. Open it out. Let's circle those arms and shoulders, releasing those shoulders out. Nice deep breath, lengthen, and two more, and one more. Well done. Now we're going to keep those knees open and just start to lower your tail towards the mat. So we're staying tall, open the knees into that lovely wide squat position. Finding your balance. Hands are just lightly resting on the thighs there. And we're going to press down a little more and release. Exhale and inhale. And press. A little pulse down and two more little presses. Lowering that tail, trying not to lean forward. And then one more. Hold your lovely deep squat. And reaching those fingertips towards the mat now. Lengthening down towards the mat. Begin to straighten your legs out. Slowly up, curl, all the way to the top. And roll out those shoulders. Well done.
So Lammy and I have come down onto the mat, and whether or not Lammy is going to be helpful or a hindrance, we'll find out in a minute. But we're going to sit up nice and tall and straight on those sit bones. And we've got straight legs to start with this week. Make sure those feet are hip width apart, so they're not together, they're not too wide, and just coming straight down from the hip joint. Start to switch on those leg muscles, so we're finding the quads, straightening them out, pressing them down into the mat, and really lengthening up into the crown of your head. Those shoulders are back and the chest is lifted. We're going to start off with just some little half roll backs. We've done these lots of times, but today we'll start off with the level one where your fingers are there for just a little bit of assistance. Now don't forget, if you have an injury to your spine or a condition such as osteoporosis, we don't want to be going into any kind of deep flexion, particularly without any support from the hands. So just stick to level one and keep your flexion a little bit shallower if that's you. We'll inhale to get ready, and as you exhale, we're finding our C-shaped curve. So the belly comes in, a dish shape through that belly,
And as you exhale, we're just rocking back onto the back of the pelvis, creating this gentle flexion all the way through the neck and the spine towards the tail. Now try not to jam your chin down onto your chest. Keep those shoulders back, and then inhale to restack your spine, bottom, middle, and then upper spine. So sticking to that level 1 if you need to. Otherwise, we've got the arms out in front, so just keep a bit of softness with those elbows. Relax the fingers. We'll inhale, and as you exhale back into your half roll back position, just keeping those hands gently in front, but try not to reach forward. Keep those shoulders back and nice and long through the neck. Inhale to restack and sit tall. Exhale, we're just starting to find these tummy muscles, these rectal abdominal muscles, and we're squeezing in with the belly button towards the small of your back on that exhalation. Now, if you need to take a rest from that position, just come all the way up and then relax forward, because you might notice you're also working your hip flexors, also core muscle, those hip flexors. So if you need to take a rest at any time, then just take your rest. So we'll just do one more, and on this one, we're going to hold our position. So we need to take our breath without lifting the rib cage or the belly, and just hold in that position. We're going to do a little twist now to the corner. Exhale across. Inhale center. Exhale across. And try and keep those fingertips so that your arms are the same length as each other. Alright, so we don't want one arm that's longer than the other arm. And that means squaring up those shoulders as well. Exhale across. And inhale center. Exhale and sit up. And remember, if you need to take a rest, then you're just going to relax over your legs, breathing into the back of your rib cage, and then coming up. Now we're going to find our half roll back again, so still working those hip flexors as well as the tummy and waist muscles. Inhale, exhale back. If you need to, remember you can hold on with those fingertips. But this time we're going to open those arms a little bit wide to the side. Can you take a small side reach? So just enough so those fingertips are touching down, but working those legs really hard. And again, exhale, inhale, and center. Bring them back and restack. Well done. So now we're going to do the same move one more time and incorporate a little spine twist. But if you want to come back to that first one that we did with the arms straight ahead, then please do. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale, coming back. Opening those arms. We've got the palms facing the front. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And it's just a small twist. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to sweep those arms all the way up. Breathe in. And then forward into your spine stretch. Nice long stretch over your legs. Lengthening the back of the neck. Chin is coming down. Shoulders are staying back. A lovely deep breath into the back of the rib cage. And exhale, restack. Lower, middle, and upper spine. So back on the mat now, ready to work those internal, external oblique muscles. So we need to just make sure we've got a nice, stable, neutral pelvis and spine. So long through the mat. And if you normally use a head block or a towel, just pop that head block or towel behind your head just to keep that neck and head in a good position. You don't want the chin lifting up towards the ceiling. We're finding those deep internal abdominal muscles, the ones that you found earlier when we were in standing position. So on your outward breath, using your fingertips just to feel that movement. As you breathe out, draw in with the tummy muscles and just tautening and tightening those muscles underneath your fingertips, drawing down a little bit with the lower part of the rib cage. And we're starting to feel a little bit more of the mat now underneath the back. And then we're going to bring those fingertips and pop them behind the head, opening the elbows out wide to the side, and we've got a little half oblique exercise to start with. On your next exhalation, we're just going to lift one shoulder towards the center of the body. Now, as you lift that shoulder across, we're squeezing those little sideways muscles there. Don't allow the elbow to come across to the center like this. Keep that elbow out. So it's just a small lift of the shoulder. The other arm, the elbow, is pressing down into the floor. And then inhale to lower. Let's go to the opposite side. Exhale, a little twist. And inhale, center. Exhale, twist across. And inhale, center. And inhale. Try and keep those knees nice and still so they don't drift about as you twist the upper part of your body. We can make that a little bit more intense by adding the opposite knee lift. So as you make your little twist across the body this time, exhaling, we're going to lift and float one leg, the opposite leg, into your tabletop position and inhale to lower. Exhale, opposite shoulder towards the center and that knee lift to tabletop position. And remember, you can take a little rest or a break anytime you need one. So if you're starting to get tired, just come back to center, relax those arms and hug your knees in. The next level, after you've had your little rest, we're going to add an extension of the leg as well. So we're still starting with the head down on the mat. As you exhale across, lifting one leg into the tabletop and inhale, lower. This time, extend the legs, reaching into the tip of the toe and then lower. And a little extension of that leg and lower. And extend and lower. Now for our next level, we're going to find tabletop position. But if you want to stick with just those first two levels, with the feet moving from the ground, then please do. So finding our tabletop position, exhaling up, one leg and then two. We've got the knee directly above the hip, we're lengthening into those toes and drawing down with the belly into the mat. Nice flat torso, watch those ribs. And this time, as you bring your shoulder across to the opposite knee, you're going to extend the same side leg into an extension and inhale, center. So we've got the beginnings here of our crisscross, which is part of the ab series. And again, exhale and extend. Now notice the tabletop leg is holding its ground. It is not moving towards you as you extend the other leg. And one more there. And inhale. Let's take that little rest. Just rock the knees in and out. Nice deep breath into the back of the rib cage. And then our final level is our crisscross. So again, if you're injured or if you're a little bit more of a beginner, just stick with those first two levels where we move the feet from the ground. Otherwise, get ready and we're going to send those legs back out into the tabletop position. Hands coming behind the head. Exhaling up into chest lift, and we're going to hold chest lift position now for our crisscross. Exhale, twist across. Inhale, center. Staying up as you twist. Inhale, center. we've got the shoulder moving to the center, the opposite knee holding the tabletop. Same side leg extending away to the tip of the toe. And we can really feel those internal, external oblique muscles working. A little twist. And center, one more. Exhale. And center. And hug your knees in. Nice deep breath there. And then bring those knees back down to the mat. Now next, we're going to take the knees over to the side and roll over onto our side. Come to the middle of the mat, and you can still rest your hands on your towel, if you've got a towel there, or low head block. Line up the knees so they stack. One knee is directly on top of the other knee. Feet match as well. And then reach out those arms in front of your chest. Lengthening the fingertips, make sure the fingertips are the same length as well. And we're going to inhale and reach the arm towards the ceiling, just rotating the upper part of the body only, and then slightly towards the back as well. Keep that arm just below shoulder height, and don't move your hips or your knees. And then exhale, rotate the body all the way back, and those fingertips should match exactly one on top of the other. As you reach towards the ceiling, allow your head to follow that movement. Check that the arm is below shoulder height and not above it or above your face. So your hand is above your chest and it stays level with the chest as you reach to the back. And then floating back to center. Check out the hips, make sure they are holding their ground. Core stability. And return. Well done. And then we'll come back and go to the opposite side. So you can just roll over onto your other side. I'm going to change ends so that I can still see you. And stacking up those knees, toes and heels. Stretch out the fingers so they match in length. Inhale and reach towards the back. Now I'm avoiding any movement there through the pelvis. Feeling the twist there through the torso. And center. And again. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch and lengthen all the way to the ends of those fingers. Really lengthen to the ends of the fingers. Stretch a little further each time. And center. Well done. Now we're going to roll back over onto your back. Tighten those tummy muscles. We'll float one leg into tabletop. And then that second leg. Bring your knees and feet together now. We have a narrow tabletop position. Open the arms into a low V shape. Extend the shoulders back into the floor. And we'll take a small tilt across to one side. So we're just lifting one hip a little bit away from the floor and then coming center. Make sure your knees match in length and stay level with each other. We're feeling these side waist muscles as you exhale down into the mat and return to center each time. Now, if you're struggling with these, you could adapt by just lowering your feet, keeping them stacked, and again, making sure the knees stay level with each other. You can still lift the hip away from the mat. On our last one now, hold your position, whether your feet are up or down. Extend your top leg.
keep those knees glued together. There is no space. Lengthen into the tip of your toe and then bring the whole thing back to center. Tightening the waist and breathing out. Toes and knees together, we'll go to the opposite side and continue your pendulum swing. And we'll do one more each way. And then hold the position to the opposite side now. The hip is lifted away from the floor. Extend that top leg, keeping your knees together. The opposite shoulder is reaching back down into the floor. And exhale, back to center. Well done. Now we can keep those arms in the wide V shape, and then we'll keep the tail down on the mat without rounding away with your glutes. Extend those legs up. See if you can get your heels together and your legs in a vertical position, drawing down with the belly and the ribs. If your legs are a little bit lower than this, perhaps they are here, you're going to bend them back into tabletop, narrow tabletop that you just did. Otherwise, if you're confident you can keep them in the vertical position, we're going to attempt our pendulum swing with some straight legs. Press those shoulders down into the floor and exhale. And exhale. We'll go real slow to start with, using the exhalation to move away from the center, a breath in, and then an exhalation to move back to center. Then once you're confident you can keep those going, we'll just use the exhalation away, inhale center, exhale away, just picking it up a little bit more, and one more each way, inhale, exhale, and center. Well done. And let's just hug those knees in and take a moment to take some deep relaxation breaths.
So next we're going to do a little bit more on our core strength, core stability, and do some rotations. And to start off with, we'll come onto all fours. Now if you're somebody with a knee injury and you struggle to come into the kneeling position, then you can actually do most of these exercises in standing, just leaning against the wall. So you would have your hands against the wall in front of you, just below shoulder height, nice and stable and square, standing up tall. And when we do our little lifts, it's exactly the same. When we do some rotations under the arm into a thread the needle, you're going to imagine the wall is your floor. Alright, so if that's you, you come up into your standing position. Otherwise, we're on all fours now, and I'm just going to bring the mat around a little bit. And we want to try and make a good, square, stable base. Now I am on a little bit of a slope here, so forgive me if it looks a little bit wonky on screen, but you want to be as square as possible with your wrists directly below your shoulders, your knees directly below your hips, those abs are engaged, we're lengthening into the crown of the head, and we're really tightening those tummy muscles for our core stability exercise. So just to start with, we're finding all square. And to find that all square without moving or tilting, slightly lift one hand a little bit away from the mat, and we want to avoid any sideways movement or shift in weight here, and immediately you should feel all of your tummy muscles kicking in to prevent you from moving across to the side. Replace that hand and then floating the other hand just a little bit above the floor, and then returning to center. And again, and center.
And just one more, all square position. Exhale and inhale. Now, if we're confident we were able to hold that nice and strong with our abdominals, we can go into our next move, which is thread the needle. So for this one, you're going to lengthen the arm underneath the armpit, stretch and reach away to the opposite side, and then inhale, lengthen, stretch those fingers up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reaching through, and inhale. And we're working really hard with the tummy muscles here because we're trying to avoid tilting backwards. Let's just do 2 more on that side. Exhale and inhale, and 1 more. Exhale and inhale. And then we're ready to go to the other side. So again, just make sure you're all square, nice and stable base, and we'll lift the hands, exhale through, really lengthen those fingertips there. Inhale and reach. Exhale through under the armpit and reach. 2 more. Inhale and 1 more. In. Well done. So next we're going to find our hip flexor stretch position. Just bring one foot between the hands. Move the back knee back a little bit so that you can drop your hips towards the mat. If you're doing this in standing position because you've got dodgy knees, then exactly the same. Front knee will be bent. You step back with that back leg, and you're just reaching in front onto the wall there and sending the hips towards the front. So exactly the same. We've got one knee down though, lengthening those hips down towards the mat, and we're going to add our little thread the needle again to this move. So reaching underneath the knee or underneath the armpit if you're in standing, and reaching up and lengthen through and up. Now if you're a little bit more advanced, lift your back knee and come into lunge position. So we're reaching through and threading up through the lunge and lengthen, lifting that back knee and through and squeeze it up. Well done. So we'll switch feet. Walk that back knee back a little bit more if you can, just to lengthen the hip flexor at the back there. Drop the hip down, and we're coming through the arm, through the knee. Stretch. And again, if you're at the next level, try lifting that back knee off the floor into that deep lunge. Exhale. And again. Very well done if you manage that. Either on the wall or on the floor now, we're finding plank. Stepping back into your plank position and holding your plank position. If you want to, you can lower your knees here into the half plank. Lower the hips, bring them in line. We're going to do a little thread the needle again. Reaching through and threading up. Exhale and inhale. It's exactly the same if you're up against the wall. Through the armpit and tightening those abs. Switch sides. Core stability. Inhale. Through. Stretch. 2 more. And inhale. 1 more. Inhale. Fantastic. Well done. Lower those knees so Sit back on your heels.
And shake out those hands. So we've come over now into prone position, and we're going to continue with our twisting theme. But if you have a bit of a shoulder injury, I'm going to give you the modified version first.
So just lengthening the forehead towards the mat. We're just floating it a little bit above the mat. Squeeze those glutes, find the back muscles and stretch the legs. The legs are a little bit wide, they're not too narrow, and we've got the arms close in by the thighs with the palms facing the ceiling. All you're going to do is lift and press one arm towards the ceiling and then turn your head in the same direction as that arm. Come back to center, other side. So if you've got a bit of a shoulder injury and you can't bring the arm overhead, this is your adapted version. Coming up, press, twist, and you should feel that on the opposite side of the back. Next level, arms are out wider than the mat. Again, you're lengthening the back of the neck, squeezing those glutes. We've widened the elbows away from the body to keep those shoulders relaxed and down. And we've again got a little twist. So just one arm is coming up. Turn your head and look underneath your forearm. And down. Inhale up. Twist. Exhale down. Inhale up. Twist. Exhale down. We'll go one more each way. And last time. And exhale down. And then our final level, extend your arms out in front of you. Really reach them away, lengthen the fingers in one direction, the toes in the other. Stretch the back of the neck so the chin stays in. And this time, we're reaching up with the arm all the way to the back and just touch the back of your thigh. We've lifted that shoulder away, turn the head and exhale down. Think of lengthening the arm. You feel that in the side of the back. Lengthen down the leg to the tip of the toes. And exhale. All the way back down. Inhale. And exhale. One more each way. Well done. Bring the hands under the shoulders now, knees as wide as the mat, and toes together for your child's pose. Sitting up and back with your tail, reaching down towards the mat with your chest. If you have a knee injury, I'm going to give you the modified version in just a moment. If that's you, come onto your back. Here's our little twist again then. Just float up, look under the armpit and float down. Make sure your hands start off level with your shoulders. They're not too narrow. They might even be almost as wide as your mat. Twist, peep under the shoulder and down. Continue with these unless you have a knee injury, and then I'm going to give you an alternative position. Soles of the feet together, knees are wide. Retracting those shoulders, we're reaching up towards the back. And we're just going to do a little lift away with one shoulder. Tightening the rib cage on that side and lower. A little lift away, small tilt and lower. One more, whichever one you're doing. And then release.
So next we're going to come into a side kneeling position. But again, if you have a knee injury, come up into your standing position with wide feet that we had at the beginning.
the upper body will be exactly the same. For our side kneel position, we want the knee and the hip and the shoulder more or less in one straight vertical line. Really reach out with the other leg, it's straight, you're reaching into the heel, and we need to tuck the butt in and engage the core so we're upright through the body. So for our level 1, bring those fingertips and place them just behind the ears, elbows back. We're using the core muscles to take our side bend, bringing the body into the same line as the outstretched leg. And center, exhale. Lengthen into the crown of the head, inhale, and exhale. Now we need a very strong lift of the pelvic floor here as well. So you're drawing up with your pelvic floor as we have wide legs. And one more level 1. Now you can carry on with those if you want to, take a rest if you need one. For level 2, reach out into those fingertips. Keep them wide, and maybe you can just touch down with the ends of the fingers each time. Let's do 3 more. Reach, exhale up. We're working deep into those abs. Exhale up. Lift that pelvic floor as you come up. One more. And exhale up. Well done. And for our last level, we're going to try and lengthen those arms straight overhead. Coming into that side position and straight up. Can we do 3 more there? Watch the shoulder doesn't twist in front. And again, imagine you are side reaching between 2 plates of glass, one in front of you and one behind. And come center. Well done. Open the arms now and find that T-shape, fingers coming down to the mat. Just placing the heel of your hand down. Find a stable position. And we've got a little leg lift. So one arm is reaching up towards the ceiling and squeeze that glute to lift the leg. And again, squeeze and lift. And 2 more. Squeeze it up. And 1 more. Lift that leg. Well done. Place that foot back down for threading the needle. Here it goes. Through the armpit and up. And again. Now if you want a bit more of a challenge, see if you can do that with your leg up in that lifted position. Hold it as still as possible. And 1 more. Inhale, lift. Well done. Lower the leg. Let's step out with that bottom leg to find our our side plank position. And holding it for a few seconds. Nice deep breath. And then the knee comes back down to the mat. And we'll sit down. Bring that bottom knee in front. Bend that top leg behind. And we're in our mermaid sit position, ready for mermaid. Stretching down with those sit bones towards the floor. And just lengthening up and across to the side. Inhale and exhale. Lengthen the arm. Keep the arm as straight as you can. When you stretch to the side, reaching long into those fingertips. Feeling that stretch as you work those side waist muscles. And 1 more. Imagine you are a piece of seaweed just floating on the tide, to and fro. Well done. Now we're going to switch sides, and again, if you're in standing, just keep those feet in the wide position. Lengthening out, bring the hips as level as you can, and we'll start off with those little side bends in our level 1. Fingertips come just behind the ears, and we're bringing the body so it's in the same line as the leg. Exhale up. And again. And 2 more here. that elbow back. Well done. Reach wide to the side for our level 2. Lengthen into the heel. Maybe you can just touch down with those fingertips each time. Keep the arms wide. And exhale. 2 more. And 1 more. Here comes level 3. Lengthen up. Now find your breathing. Breathing out at the point of most exertion. Well done. Open the arms wide, your T shape, just touching down with those fingers, and then the palms of your hand. Just finding your balance there with the foot resting. We're ready to lift. Squeeze the glutes, stretch the leg, and lift that leg. And exhale, reach. And 2 more. And 1 more. Place it down, thread the needle through, and lengthen it up. And reach through. Inhale. If you want a bit more of a challenge, lift that leg and hold. 1 more. Reach, well done. Lower your leg, step out with your bottom leg, and see if you can just hold your side plank. We'll do 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that knee down, and we're ready for mermaid. Bottom knee comes out in front. Bend the back knee. Sit down with those sit bones level as you can. In your mermaid sit, just remember to keep the sit bones nice and square and level, even when you're moving to the side, and just watch those shoulders don't twist forward. So we'll take the mermaid over to the side and lengthen. And inhale. Exhale, arm nice and straight. Inhale. Keep lengthening into those fingertips. Now we're trying to keep both those sit bones glued to the mat as well. So when you come to the side, press down with that hip towards the mat. And we'll just do 1 more each way. Well done, and come centre. So we're going to finish with our roll down move. We're sitting up nice and tall and straight on the sit bones. Work those legs, so heels are together, and you're pressing the thighs down into the mat. Inhale to lengthen into the tips of the fingers. Exhale, scooping in with the belly and the rib cage, rounding over your legs. We'll just pause here for a moment and lengthen the back of the neck, breathing into the back of the spine, keeping those shoulders back, and then as you exhale, tightening those tummy muscles and maintaining your flexion. Straighten the legs and really stretch them away from you. We're focusing at placing 1 vertebra down onto the mat at a time. Lower spine, middle spine, upper spine. Once your shoulders are touched down, keep your chin to your chest and then lower carefully the back of the head onto the mat. As you inhale, we're reaching overhead, but don't lose the ribs here, keep them engaged. Exhale, retract the shoulders into the floor as the arms come over, come into your head nod, and unpeel upper spine, middle spine, and lower spine, reaching long and low over your feet. Inhale, lengthen into those fingers as you restack lower, middle, upper.
Now, if you have an injury to your spine or osteoporosis, we don't want to come into such a deep flexion or roll on the spine. So you can modify that move. We'll stay a little taller and straighter, fingers on the legs, just leaning forward slightly. As you exhale, you're going to scoop in with your tummy and tighten the ribs, and just walk yourself down your legs, keeping those shoulders back. Then you can place the hands and the elbows down to support you. Use the fingers again for the last section. As you stretch the legs, you're using the support of the hands to lower the body onto the mat. Inhale, and then as you exhale, same thing. Hands are used to draw the head away. Hands and elbows onto the mat, press. Walk yourself up your legs and into that slightly more upright position. Whichever one you're doing, we're going to do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. In. Last time. Well done. So now we're ready for a little bit of relaxation, and you're going to find a comfortable position on your mat.
Relaxing back on your mat. Wriggle your toes and then circle them a few times around your ankles. Then focus on your feet and your calves, becoming completely loose and relaxed. Now tighten your thighs and glutes. Squeeze them and clench them tightly, and then release them completely. Focus on letting go of any tension in your legs, as though they have gone to sleep. Allow your legs to become completely heavy and floppy. Focus on them becoming still, quiet, with no movement. Next, take a slow, full, deep breath. As you breathe out, squeeze your tummy muscles and your ribs and press them strongly down into the mat. On your next breath in, draw in a deep, wide breath, filling your lungs completely. Open and separate, stretching the rib cage. Lift your ribs, stretching those muscles between the ribs. Arch your back up away from the mat towards the ceiling. Now relax your breathing. Let go of the muscles around your waist and your belly. Relax your chest and your back, allowing them to sink into the floor. Next, make a fist with your hands. Straighten out your arms and press them down strongly into the floor. Press down on your little finger and outside of your fist. Push them downwards through your mat. Now release the arms. Give your fingers a wriggle and then relax the whole arm, palm uppermost. The fingers can curl. Let go of any tension in your shoulders. Next, focusing on your facial muscles, screw up your face, tensing the muscles. Tighten your brow, screw up the eyelids and frown. Clench your teeth, purse your lips, and press your tongue into the roof of your mouth. Lastly, relax all the muscles of your face. Allow the brow to release and smooth out. Relax your eyelids, your eyebrows, and your cheeks. Allow the lips to part and the mouth to open. Relax your tongue and your lips completely. Release any tension across your scalp, your ears, even your hair follicles. Feel your head sinking back into your mat. Let go of the whole body now. Allow the body to completely relax. There is no movement, no feeling, no tension. All is perfectly still, completely calm, at peace.